Hello everyone, welcome back. I got in a new double fast loop sling. Okay, so there's two fast loop ends to this that you can work with. This is from, get behind the camera so you can see the label, from Blue Force Gear. It says Vickers Combat Applications Sling, made in the USA. So this is a very heavy duty sling, right? You can see it's pretty thick. The straps are 1.25 inches wide. All the hardware is metal. Okay, so that's all heavy duty stuff. Okay, so there's no plastic hardware on this. Most of the slings that I normally work with are usually in the $20 range. This is like a $75 sling. Again, I'm kind of figuring this out, trying to figure out what some of the benefits to this are. Mostly the double fast loop feature. Okay, so let me hook it up to the rifle. So one of the first benefits I'm finding is that a lot of times when I go to hook up the sling to the rifle, a lot of times the fast loop end ends up like on the other side where I don't want it, and I have to kind of, reattach the QD points. Well, with this, it doesn't matter how you put it in because you've got the fast loop at either end. So that's the first benefit of that. Hey, so you've got the fast loop here, which works in the opposite direction of my other fast loop slings. Because with this, to tighten it up, you bring it down. To loosen it up, you bring it this way. Okay, so tighten it up by going down. Okay, and if you want to loosen it up, right? Let's say to bring it up and do a magazine change, or if you want to swim out of the sling and do a transition to your left side. Okay, then to tighten it up, you pull down. Okay, so the other fast loop end is way back here somewhere. Okay, it looks like I got it completely loose. So one of the things I was trying to figure out is how do you get to this fast loop end over here? Now this, let me say this: this sling is intended for medics. Okay, now I'm not a medic. I don't know how this double fast loop end would work with them. So I'm trying to figure out how this would work in the way that I normally work. And one of the issues that I ran into is like, okay, I got the other end up here, but I can't reach it. So how's it going to help me? And then it occurred to me that not everybody carries the rifle the way I do. Some people might choose to carry it like this for whatever reason. Okay, in which case now you can access the butt end of the fast loop sling. Okay, so like this, I can access like this. Again, you gotta, to loosen it, you pull it towards you. To tighten it up, you pull down, and then if you flip to this side, now you can loosen it up like this. Okay, so that's one of the interesting things that occurred to me is like some people, and I've seen videos and pictures of people, some people choose to have their rifle like this, again, for whatever reason. So yeah, now it makes sense that you can, because you're going to be able to reach this end, you can't reach that end. That's the end that I normally work with. So for me, like if I'm going to throw this over, because usually I'm either in that position or in this position here, okay? So these are the two positions. So again, if I'm coming around, if I retrieve it, again, I'm always working with this end. And here, now here's one of the interesting things. When I throw this over my back, I usually tighten it down a little bit more. And what I do is I grab this and I pull it down to tighten it. However, if you do that with this, you're going to loosen it up because that's how that loosens up. So now I got this all loose on my back. So for me, this is like a just different, right? That's not the way I normally work. So if I was to start working with this a lot more, I would have to change how I work. Let me just give you guys an example. This is the Brash Tactical Sling that I work with. It's like a $20 sling. It's been working great for me for $20. It's got the fast loop end here. So with this, if I want to loosen it up, I pull this down. And when I tighten it up, I pull it up, okay? So this is working the opposite end. Now, to me, just because this is what I normally work with, this is normal to me, right? Where if you want to loosen it, you let it out. And if you want to tighten it, you pull it up. So to me, this seems normal. I don't know about the other Blue Force slings. I don't know if they loosen, if the other fast loop slings loosen up and tighten up in the same direction as that one or in this one. I just don't know the answer to that. I haven't worked enough with these Blue Force things to be able to see that most of them do this or most of them do that. But for me, it's like this works, and that works. So I would just have to get used to it, right? Because that's how I tighten it up. Now, for me, if I'm going to throw this over my back, what I'll usually do is I'll throw it over my back like this, and I'll grab the loop here, and then I'll tighten it up on my chest. See how I pull down, and I can get this really tight on my back, okay? Because I am pulling down across my chest. With that one, I'd have to be pulling up. It might be a matter of rearranging. But one of the things I didn't do, I didn't mess around too much with the other loop adjustments on this. So maybe if I play around with that, it'll work better for me. But for me, it's like, okay, now if I want to retrieve this, I'll put my thumb here, pull this around, right, and I can come up like that. Okay, so if I want to let it out. So this sling here is only this brash tactical sling. It's only the strap is only 1 inch wide versus 1.25 inches of that one, and it's thinner. Okay, it's thinner. Now, one of the things that I have found with the cheaper slings, right, like with the $20 slings and $25 slings, a lot of them, when they try to go to 1.25 inches, okay, what happens is you end up with like too much resistance, right? Because now it's 1.25 inch wide material. There's more resistance as you're moving the fast loop sling back and forth. And a lot of times what they do is it's either like too tight or they make it really loose. I haven't been able to find like a thick 1.25 inch wide sling that's in the $20 range that works good. It's either sticking one way or sticking the other way. This one here for the $75 doesn't seem to have that problem. Again, $75 sling. They figured out how to do it. Okay, so with this one here, the way they dealt with that problem is I think they just went to 1 inch wide instead of 1.25 inches, and this is thinner material. Now, sometimes when you go to these thinner slings, what will happen is when you tighten it up and you pull on it, it just loosens up. Okay, this one doesn't do that. That's why I like these brash tactical slings. They don't do that. And again, I throw it over my back, tighten it up, okay, and then if I want to loosen it, just pull this, retrieve it. Okay, so now the only reason why I'm comparing, because why am I comparing a $75 sling to a $25 sling? Again, this is kind of like a base for me, right? This is my baseline. This is what I normally work with, and I'm trying to figure out, like, is that going to be better for me? And I'm sure there'll be some advantages. Like one of the disadvantages of the inch wide sling, okay, although this is great for, for like short-term training, like you're going to be training for an hour, 2 hours. If you're going to be carrying this around for like a day or a week or whatever, the thinner strap is going to dig more into your body, whereas this wider one, which seems to also be like softer material, that's going to be a lot more comfortable to wear. So my choice of what I would use for like day-to-day training, where I don't have the gun on my body for more than an hour at a time, might be different for what I would use if I'm going to be like, going like 10 miles through the woods over a couple of days. Okay, so that's one of the interesting things here. Now, this was developed as a combat sling. Okay, so slightly different goals in mind. Okay, but again, I'm just, this is my baseline. So that's why I'm kind of coming back to this and comparing it to this. So this is a thicker strap. Especially like when I'm wearing like basically when there's a lot of skin showing, this is going to sit, if you got a thin shirt like this is definitely going to sit a lot more comfortably on your body. The thing that I would have to get used to, I have to get used to this idea that, hey, if I want to loosen it up, I got to pull instead of push. Okay. Now, one of the things I was trying to figure out is, what am I going to do with this fast loop end over here, right? Because this is the other end. Because for me, it's like I'm always playing with this end, right? And if I throw it over my back, again, this is the end that's within my reach. If I pull this down, it's going to just loosen it up. Okay, this just loosens it up, so that's not what I want. When I throw it over my back, I want to tighten it. And when it's in this position, it's really difficult now to tighten it. So I pretty much have to retrieve it, or get into this position here. Oh, got that in. I have to come back to this position here in order to tighten it. Okay, so it's very hard for me to, if I loosen it up in this position here, it's like let's do that again. If I loosen it up over here, tightening it up it doesn't work. So I have to come back around, and now I can pull down to tighten it up. So just be aware of that. I'm not saying that's good or bad, it's just how this thing works, okay? Now the question becomes what to do with this end, right? Because it always seems like I'm working with this end. So it took me a little while to kind of figure it out, because I'm normally either in this position or I'm in this position, right? Those are the only two positions that I carry this rifle in. And then it occurred to me that not everybody does just this. Some people might carry their rifle like this, in which case this end here, you can't reach it when the gun is like this. You can now reach this end if you need to loosen it up, or you can tighten it up from this end. So that's the benefit of having the double fast loop sling. I can loosen it up, tighten it up from this end, or if I choose to go to this position, I can loosen it up or tighten it up here. So this was like one of those things I kind of have to work with to figure out what exactly am I doing with this and how is this going to work, how's it going to help me. But that's kind of what I came up with. Now, I did not go and read a Blue Force gear manual on this. So maybe they intended something completely different, okay? Maybe, you know, just completely different things that I don't even get involved with, so I can't comment on it, you know? So there might be some other use for this that I am not aware of, and if there is such, please put it in the comments. I don't pretend to know everything. I mean, I do shoot guns like almost every day, so here I am trying to figure out, okay, the way I shoot guns, how's this sling gonna help me? So the added benefit of this sling for me is, right now there's another position I can go to that I wasn't going to in the past, where I can loosen this up and tighten it up. So as you guys can see, like, it's, even though the strap is 1.25 inches, it moves fairly easy, okay? So again, with some other cheaper slings that I've tried that had this thickness strap, a lot of times it sticks, right? So this moves fairly easy. So that's one of the things I do like about it. The one thing where, like, and I'm not saying it's bad, but the thing that I would have to get used to is working in the opposite direction, right? To loosen this up, I gotta pull up, right? And then to tighten it up, I gotta pull down. And it's not that hard to get used to, okay? Versus the other slings that I normally work with. The only place where I kind of run into some difficulties, if I'm here, okay, and now I want to get this a little bit tighter, I can't really tighten this up because I can't pull. It's hard for me to, from this position, it's hard for me to pull up to tighten it. If I go to this one, in the direction that this goes into, right? Right, tighten it up like this. And you can see, like, right now I got lots of slack. So this will go over my back really easy, okay? And then I can just put my thumb here, and as it goes down, I just tighten this up like this. And that's like really fast and efficient, you know? And if I wanna now loosen, like as I'm retrieving, like I could retrieve it, see how it's, because I have it really tight in my body now, right? I've got this really tight in my body, so I can't, like, you know, so if I'm running, this isn't bouncing around. So to loosen it up when it's this tight, thumb goes in here. As I swing this around, I loosen it up, and now I've got lots of slack to, you know, bring the gun up. And as you can see, it's really tight. Or if I can let this out, if I want to wrap around here for a really steady shot, quickly tighten it up, right? So this is normally how the tightness level that I have here, okay? And as it goes over my back, put my thumb here, tighten it down even more, retrieve. Now, if I choose to go to this position, again, this is not something that I do. I really don't have a way. I don't have a way to tighten it from this position, all right? Because I don't have a fast loop on this end. That's what that offers me. That's the benefit that offers me, that I can tighten it up over here. So that's the added benefit that I see to that sling over what I got here. Aside from the fact that, you know, that's, again, it's more heavy duty stuff. So now, you know, you ask me now, like, which sling am I going to be using, let's say, or would I be using on a day-to-day basis as I'm doing videos for you guys and training? The tendency at the moment is I would probably continue to work with the cheaper sling, just because it's just you know, it just seems a little bit more convenient for me, you know, as I'm working with this, especially when I throw this over my back to tighten this up like that. That seems a lot more convenient and comfortable to me. So unless, and I might be missing something, right? Unless there's some other way. Okay, this seems like a little bit more work. Like it's here, throw this over my back. See here, I got a lot more slack. If I start running, this is gonna bounce around. I can't just pull on a strap on this and just tighten it up. You know, that's just not an option. Okay, so that, I mean that's what it is. In the future, I might have a different opinion, but this is my opinion today. It's kind of like initial impressions. I've only been working with this for, it was my second day working with this. So that's my initial impressions on this double-ended, or double fast loop sling from blueforcegear. Again, Vickers Combat Applications Sling. It says cage 3x958, whatever that is. Okay. So anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys have any additional information, please put in the comment section. Because again, I've only been working with this for 2 days now, so maybe there's something I'm missing. I'm completely open to that. I mean, I didn't like go out there and watch videos from blueforcegear on how to use this this medic sling. So if there's something I'm missing, by all means, drop it in the comments. I don't pretend to know everything on this channel. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to y'all soon.